audible to all? Hello, please reply audibly. Okay, in last lecture, we have already started the mechanical energy based non conventional processes where we have to study different processes like abrasive jet machining, water jet machining, combination of these two, that is the abrasive water jet machining. In last lecture, we have covered the first method of mechanical energy based system, that is the abrasive jet machining, where we have to study what is the working principle of abrasive jet machining, on which base that process is to be carried out, what are the different equipments used in abrasive jet machining setup, what is the process of metal removal in case of abrasive jet machining, and what is the abrasive, that also we have studied in last lecture. What are the different material used as a abrasive, what will be the size, what will be the applications where specific abrasive is to be used, that was covered in last lecture. Also we deal about the material used for the nozzle, mainly tungsten carbide and sapphire is the two more widely used materials are used in case of a abrasive jet machining. In today's lecture, we start with the second type of non-conventional machining, which is based on mechanical energy. That is a water jet machining. What is the main difference between abrasive jet machining and water jet machining? When you are considering, only working medium is different. In case of abrasive jet machining, you are using abrasive plus air, that mixture. That was a working fluid used to remove the material from the workpiece. But in case of a water jet machining, you are only using pure water as a working fluid in order to remove the material from the workpiece. Write down the second type of mechanical machining, that is a water jet machining process, WJM. Water jet machining, that is a WJM, is a mechanical energy based process. No doubt, it is a non traditional, non conventional, or advanced machining process, which is to be used in order to cut and machine soft and non-metallic part. What is the application of this water jet machining process? By using this process, we are able to machine soft material. At the same time, non-metallic materials can be easily machined by using water jet machining. This water jet machining process, it will involve a water jet which is having a very high velocity. It is near about 700 meter per second, which is used to smoothly cut a soft workpiece, and it is similar to the average jet machining. Only difference, there will be a difference in a working fluid. In a abrasive jet machining, we are using abrasive particles along with air. That mixture is used as a working fluid. But in case of a water jet machining, by replacing the abrasive particles, only fluid we are using, that is the water. And that water, it will be pressurized water. And that pressurized water, it will be passed to the nozzle. When it is passing through this nozzle, the pressure energy of the water, it will be converted into kinetic energy. So at the outlet of the nozzle, you are getting high velocity water jet. When this high velocity water jet, it will be strike on a soft material because of a action of erosion. The material from the workpiece, it will be removed. It also used to remove the material from the non-metallic materials. Hello? Is any problem? Hello? Anybody have problem? Okay. So it all about the water jet machining. Right in short, the description about the water jet machining. First point, it is a non-traditional mechanical energy-based process. Second point, it will be used to cut soft material as well as non-metallic material, right? And high-velocity water jet, it will be able to cut this material very smoothly, right? If you are observing this diagram, this is the wall, this will be the nozzle, right? And this will be the workpiece. As we discussed in yesterday in abrasive jet machining, the distance between the mouth or tip of the nozzle and upper surface of the workpiece, it is called as a stand-off distance or nozzle tip distance, right? Now, this will be the pipe through which source of high pressure water it will be supply. Means high pressure water is allowed to flow through this pipe. That pressure is regulated or that flow is to be regulated by using this valve. That high pressure water then again allowed to pass through this nozzle. When it is passing through this nozzle, its pressure energy is converted into kinetic energy. Why it is happening? Because nozzle is having a convergent cross-sectional area where potential energy or pressure energy is to be converted into kinetic energy. So at the outlet of the nozzle, you are getting high velocity water jet. This will be the water jet. And as the velocity of the water jet, it is a very high. When it will be strike on a specified area of the workpiece, because of a bombarding of these water particles with high velocity at this particular specific area, the material of the workpiece from that area, it will try to remove by the action of erosion. Whatever the material removed, it will be drained in this catcher. These are the catchers which will utilize to collect the material which is to be removed during the process of a water jet machining. So this is the figure schematic diagram that will show the working principle of the water jet machining. In water jet machining, high velocity water jet is allowed to strike on a given workpiece. The velocity of this water jet, it will be near about 900 meter per second. With such high velocity, when water strike on a surface of the any material, it is specially utilized for machining soft as well as non-metallic parts. Soft material and non-metallic material can be easily machined by using this water jet machining. When this high velocity water jet, it will be strike on a workpiece. The kinetic energy of this water jet, it will be used to remove the material from the workpiece. When this high velocity jet, it will be strike on the workpiece, it induces certain traces on the workpiece. And that induced traces are so enough or very high enough in order to remove the particles or unwanted particles of the workpiece that will be removed automatically. This is the working principle of the water jet machining. Write down this working principle of water jet machining. My voice is audible clearly to all. Please reply. Anybody unmute yourself. Voice is audible to all. Hello. Sonali Chavan is there?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Draw this diagram of water jet cutting or water jet machining. It will clearly visualize the working principle of the water jet machining. Okay. What are the equipment? Those are used in water jet machining, or we may call it as a setup for this water jet machining process. If you are considering, this will be the main part of this water jet machining, right? Now, we require the tank for the supply of the water, for the storage of the water. Then we use the pump in order to supply this water up to this nozzle, right? By using this pump, we are supplying water to the accumulator. Accumulator is again one kind of the storage tank. There are certain limitations for the pump because up to a certain head or certain pressure, pump can increase the pressure on water. But in order to increase more amount of pressure on water, you require the intensifier. Means by using the intensifier, we are again increasing the pressure on water which is coming out from the pump and stored in an accumulator where there will be controls because of which we are able to increase the pressure on water which is coming from the accumulator by using this intensifier, and that pressure is will be shown by this pressure gauge. That high pressurized water now it is allowed to flow to this wall. This wall it will be regulate the flow of high pressure water to this nozzle. That is a sapphire nozzle. Sapphire is a material that was used for the nozzle. When this high pressurized water, it will be passed through this nozzle. Its pressure energy is converted into kinetic energy. So at the tip of this nozzle, you are getting high velocity water jet. When this high velocity water jet, it will be strike on this workpiece. It will remove the material from the workpiece, and the removed material it will be passed to this drain line, or it will be called as a catcher. Whatever the material is to be removed from the workpiece by the striking of this water jet on the surface of the workpiece, that removed material, unwanted material, it will be drained to this drainage. This all about the equipment and setups used for the water jet machining. A reservoir, that will be tank. This will be the hydraulic pump. This will be the intensifier. This will be accumulator. Accumulator, it will be used as a extra storage tank when we require shortage of water from this side. At that time, you take the required water from the accumulator. Control valve in order to control the pressure of the fluid. Water jet nozzle in order to convert high pressure water into high velocity water jet, and a flow regulator in order to control the direction of the flow. At the same time, along the same time, it will be able to control the pressure on the water. This is the experimental setup. It is used for the water jet machining. Draw this diagram neatly and write down the name of the components which are used in a water jet machining process. You take 2 to 3 minutes for this. Everyone must have to draw this setup, block diagram of this setup. And you must have to able to explain the components of water jet machining like reservoir, what is a reservoir, why we use hydraulic pump, what is a pump, what is the application, intensifier, why we use the intensifier, why we need the accumulator, what is the function of control valve, what is the water jet nozzle, what will be the material for this water jet nozzle, what is the flow regulator valves. So by explaining in short each and every component of the setup, you are able to explain the working of the water jet machining process. Is it over? Reply audibly. Anybody? Diagram is over. Yes, roll number 50. Hello. Okay. Now, what are the different process controlling parameters in case of the water jet machining? What is the first parameter? That is the stand of distance. What is the stand of distance? It is the distance between the tip of the nozzle and upper surface of the workpiece. Up to a certain limit, as we increasing the distance of the tip of the nozzle from the surface of the workpiece, as that distance goes on increasing, there will be increasing in a material rate of the workpiece. That is nothing but as stand-up distance increases, the material removal rate it also increases, but up to a certain level or at a certain point. Beyond that point, when you are increasing the distance, stand-up distance, then the water jet velocity it will be gets reduces, and if the velocity get reduces, it will impact on a removal of the material from the workpiece. That is, with increase in stand-up distance, no doubt the material remove rate from the workpiece by water jet machining it will increases up to a certain point. Beyond that point, the material remove rate it will be goes decreases because the velocity of the water jet it will be goes on reducing. The second parameter or processing parameter or controlling parameter, that is the fluid pressure. Fluid pressure it is a must because what is the end result we required? We required high velocity of a water jet. And when you require the high velocity water jet, at that time, at the inlet of the nozzle, you must have to supply the high pressure fluid. In water jet machining, we are using water as a fluid. So at the inlet of the nozzle, we must require the high pressure fluid. And that high pressure fluid, it will be produced by using the pump and intensifier. And that pressurized fluid, it will be stored in a accumulator also. And by using the different regulatory valves, we can increase and regulate or change the direction of this high pressure fluid to the nozzle. When this high pressure fluid, it will be passing through the nozzle, its kinetic energy, it will be increases. As water is passing through this nozzle, the pressure energy is converted into kinetic energy, and that high velocity water jet, it will be strike on a surface. So from this point, we come to conclusion that as fluid pressure increases, it will help to increase the velocity of the water jet. As velocity of the water jet is more amount of material is to be removed from the surface of the workpiece. Third point, transverse and feed rate. Right. Transfer rate or feed rate, as it will be increasing, definitely it will affect the performance of the material removal from the workpiece of the material of the workpiece. When feed rate is more, no doubt the material remove rate, it will be a more. Next parameter, that is a jet fluid. Jet fluid is nothing but the velocity of the fluid, right? Fluid jet, it is also called as a high velocity fluid. As velocity goes on increasing, the pressure on the workpiece, it will be goes on increasing, because when this high velocity water jet, that is nothing but it is having a very high kinetic energy. When it will be strike or impinging on a surface of the workpiece, that kinetic energy is converted into pressure energy. And by the action of erosion, mechanical erosion process, trace induction, the material from the workpiece, it will be removed. That is jet fluid, that is nothing but the velocity of the fluid, high velocity jet. That is when velocity of the jet, it will be increases, the mass flow rate, the material remove rate from the workpiece, it also increases. Nozzle diameter. Another parameter, that is a nozzle diameter. If you are considering the nozzle diameter, if nozzle diameter is a larger, velocity of the jet, it will be a smaller. When you goes on decreasing the nozzle diameter, the velocity of the jet, it will be goes on increasing. That is, there is a relation between nozzle diameter and velocity of the water jet. As nozzle diameter decreases, velocity of water jet increases. As velocity of water jet increases, no doubt material remove rate from the workpiece, it will be increases. So these are the some parameters, controlling parameters in case of a water jet machining, which are affecting the output, that is the material removal rate from the workpiece. Which are those parameters? Write down the name of the parameter. First parameter, stand up distance. Second, fluid pressure. Third, feed rate or transfer rate. Fourth, jet fluid or velocity of the fluid. And fifth, diameter of the nozzle. Write this name of the parameter, and if possible, write its description in short. So these are the controlling parameters of the water jet machine. Write the names. Okay, come to the next point. What are the advantages of this water jet machining? The first advantage of water jet machining, that is a this process is a fast process. Second one, prevent the formation of heat affected zone on the workplace. That is water, it will be one kind of a heat conducting medium, right? As high velocity water jet, it will be strike on the surface of the workpiece. No doubt, its a kinetic energy is converted into pressure energy, and when it will be strike on a specific surface of the workpiece, the material from that surface it will be removed. But while impacting this high velocity water jet on the surface of the workpiece, some amount of heat it will be generated during the process of the material removal. And in case of abrasive jet machining, as abrasive strike on a surface of the workpiece, no doubt because of the erosion action that abrasive particles remove the material from the workpiece. But at the same time, some amount of heat generated over there, and that region around which heat is to be generated, that is called as a HAZ, heat affected zone. As compared to the abrasive jet machining, we are removing that abrasive particles by water fluid. So water fluid is a conductive of heat. So there will be a formation of a heat affected zone. That possibility is less. That is, in case of a abrasive jet machining, it will help to prevent the formation of heat affected zone on the workpiece. Automatically clean the surface of the workpiece. Same fluid it will be act as a carrier of this removed material from the workpiece. So there will be no any another fluid or any another means to clean the workpiece in order to remove that material which is dig out by the process of the water jet machining. Whatever the accuracy or precision you are getting by using the water jet machining, it will be more as compared to the another non-conventional process. The tolerance, the tolerance value, it will be obtained up to a point not 5 mm in case of a water jet machining. That plus or minus point not 5 mm tolerance, it will be possible by using the water jet machining. Water jet machining cannot produce any kind of a hazardous or harmful gases during the process of the operation. So that this process we may call as a eco-friendly process. Water jet machining is a eco-friendly process. These are the some of the listed advantages in case of a water jet machining. First one, fast process. Second one, prevent the heat affected zone, formation of a heat affected zone. It will help to clean up the surface of the workpiece. It also provides the good tolerance up to a range plus or minus 0.05 mm with the excellent precision. This process you may call it as eco-friendly process because it does not produce any kind of a hazardous gases, right? So these are the advantages of a water jet machining. You have to write all these advantages neatly. Everybody must have to write these all advantages. Okay, go to the next point. Disadvantages. This water jet machining process can only be used for the material which is to be softer one. This can be used only for non-metallic parts also. Also, there will be limitations for very thick material that cannot be easily machined by using this water jet machining process. As all these processes are come under the category of advanced machining process or non-traditional process, no doubt the initial investment required it will be very high, and this process also not suitable for mass production application. These are the some of the limitations, or you may call the disadvantages of the water jet machining. You also write down the limitations or disadvantages of the water jet machining. Okay, go to the next slide. What are the applications of this water jet machining process? This water jet machining process it is useful for cutting the material which will be a porous, fibrous, granular or soft. It will also include such materials like a corrugated boards, rubber, glass, aluminum, plastic, granite, plywood. These are the certain materials which are usually machined by using this abrasive jet machining process. What is the baseline? That material it must be a softer one, or that material it must be a non-metallic one. To cut the wood, ceramics, composites, leather, foam, wire stripping, and deburring. These are the certain applications, that is the wire stripping and deburring. We use the water jet machining process. Also, in order to machine or to cut the wood, ceramics, composite, and leather, foam material, we may use the uh, water jet machining process. The next point it is related with the some specified application like in aerospace and other similar industries. Cutting of the asbestos is done by using the water jet machining in order to minimize airborne dust in the atmosphere. Means in a certain aerospace industries, in order to reduce the airborne dust, to reduce the production of airborne dust by machining or cutting of the asbestos is to be done by using the water jet machining. It is used to cut the fiberglass and polyethylene. Those are used for in a certain automobile applications or in the manufacturing of automotive parts. And machining of such parts it will be carried out by using water jet machining. That is, water jet machining is used to cut the fiberglass and polyethylene, which will be that will be used as a automobile used in automotive parts. So write down these applications of a water jet machining in the field of engineering. Everyone must have to write this application. I will ask anybody regarding advantages, disadvantages, and applications of this water jet machining process in the class. Okay, I think it will be over. That will be applications of the water jet machine. So in this lecture, if you take a recap, we start with the introduction of water jet machining. Then we discuss on a working principle of this water jet machining with the help of a figure, how this cutting process is to be carried out in case of a water jet machining by using high pressurized water jet, which is allowed to flow through this nozzle, which will converting high pressurized water into high velocity water jet. And by using that high velocity water jet, we are cutting the workpiece. Also, we discuss about the setup, equipmental setup, experimental setup for the water jet machining, which are having different number of parts, components like reservoir, intensifier, pump, accumulator, nozzle, certain direction control as well as the flow control. This is a very important parameter point from the water jet perspective. What are the different process parameters? Those are used in a water jet machining, and what is the impact of this each parameter on MRR? MRR means material remove rate. Material remove rate in case of a water jet machining. That is, what is the effect of stand-up distance on material remove rate? What is the effect of fuel pressure on the performance of the water jet machining process? How this fluid velocity and nozzle diameter will affect the material remove rate in case of a water jet machining. And in last, we are discussing on different advantages of this water jet machining. Also, we discuss or focus of give insight on limitations and or disadvantages of water jet machining. And at last, we cover what are the applications where we will use the water jet machining. Why we study this water jet machining non-conventional or non-traditional or advanced machining process. We must require certain applications where conventional machining have certain limitations. That's why we go for the study the non-conventional machining process, and in that non-conventional machining process we are using mechanical energy based processes, and in that mechanical energy based processes why we study water jet machining. The ultimate answer to study the water jet machining process, it is when you have to machine a certain soft material and non-metallic parts. At that time you go for the water jet machining. These are the certain applications of the water jet machining. Anybody have any query regarding this water jet machining process is to be concerned? Please feel free to ask any query. Otherwise, I will ask a question, you give the answer. Okay, I think the concept of water jet machining, it will be well understood to each of one. Okay, then we will discuss about the differentiating point or some certain similarities and difference between the abrasive jet machining that we have studied earlier and water jet machining that we have studied right now, right? So what are the different differences or similarities which will be found in case of AJM, that is the abrasive jet machining, and water jet machining? Abrasive jet machining, water jet machining, abrasive water jet machining, and ultrasonic machining. Right now, we have studied these two processes. These two are remaining, right? So, whatever these four processes are to be concerned, those are directly utilize mechanical energy to gradually remove the material from the workpiece by the action of erosion. So, we may say this is a similarity point in case of all kind of the mechanical energy processes. That is abrasive jet machining and water jet machining utilizing mechanical energy in order to remove the material from the workpiece by the process of erosion. This will be the similarity point. If you are considering the abrasive jet machining setup, it requires the compressor, it requires the filter and dryer. Also, it will require the mixing chamber in order to mix this pressurized air along with the abrasive feeder. So, at the outlet of this mixing chamber, you are getting the mixture of compressed air plus abrasive particles, and that pressurized mixture of abrasive particles and air, it will be allowed to pass through this nozzle, and in a nozzle the pressure energy is converted into kinetic energy. So at the tip of the nozzle you are getting high velocity abrasive jet, and this high velocity abrasive jet when strike on a surface of the workpiece, it will remove the material from the upper surface of the workpiece by the process of erosion. Why it is happening? Because continuous bombarding of these abrasive particles at a particular location, it may cause digging of or stress induction at that particular part, and because of that erosion action is to be takes place and material is to be removed from that specific part of the workpiece. This is a schematic diagram that we have already studied in case of abrasive jet machining. That is, in abrasive jet machining, abrasive particles are allowed to impact or impinging on work material with very high velocity. And this high velocity abrasive particles remove the material by micro-cutting action as well as brittle fracture of the work material. This will be the working principle. See here, this is the workpiece. This will be the nozzle. This will be the diameter of the nozzle. Through this nozzle, you are allowing to pass high velocity abrasive. You are allowing to pass high pressure abrasive particles. When it will be passing through this nozzle, you are getting high velocity jet, which is having a velocity up to a range 500 meter per second. And the diameter of the nozzle, it may vary from 0.2 to 0.8 mm or maximum 1 mm. And the distance you have to maintain between the upper surface of the workpiece and the tip of the nozzle, it may vary between 0.5 to 15 mm. Right? That we have to study it in a earlier lecture, which will be focused on a abrasive jet machining. And in case of abrasive jet machining, as we are always told that material is to be removed by the process of erosion, and process of erosion is nothing but removing the material by micro cutting action with a certain amount of a brittle fracture of the work material. Just now we have seen this water jet machining, right? In water jet machining, we just study about the block diagram of the water jet machining. Just in last some previous slide, I already explained the working of a water jet machining. What are the different components or equipments those are used in water jet machining, and what is the function of each component of this water jet machining setup. The sapphire is the material used for this nozzle. This will be the stand-up distance, that is the distance between tip of the nozzle or nozzle mouth to the upper surface of the workpiece. So, in short, when you are discussing about the similarities and differences between the abrasive jet machining and water jet machining, the similarity, as we discuss, it will be short listed in this slide. First similarity, it will be both abrasive jet machining and water jet machining. Both are the non-traditional machining processes, or it also called as a non-conventional machining processes, or it also called as a advanced manufacturing processes. However, none of them is considered as a hybrid process. So it will be purely mechanical energy based process. No other form of energy is utilized to carry out the machining or material removing processes. So it may be called as a non-hybrid process. The second point, it is a related with the type of the energy which is used to performing material removing operation of this non-conventional machining process. The abrasive jet machining and water jet machining both are the mechanical energy based non-traditional machining processes, and they directly utilize the kinetic energy of the jet. It may be a abrasive jet or it may be a water jet, respectively, if you are considering abrasive jet machining and water jet machining. And that high velocity jet of the energy, it will be utilized to remove the material from the workpiece. The third point related to the similarity that both the process require appropriate nozzle. In both the process, we require the appropriate shape and size or appropriate selected material of the nozzle for converting pressure energy of a fluid into kinetic energy. That is, in case of abrasive jet machining, you are supplying high pressurized abrasive and air mixture at the inlet of the nozzle. And in case of a water jet machining, you are supplying high pressure water at the inlet of the nozzle. And at the outlet of the nozzle, in case of the both processes, you are getting high velocity jet. It may be abrasive jet in case of abrasive jet machining and water jet in case of a water jet machining. So, in both the cases, we must require the nozzle in order to convert fluid pressure energy into fluid kinetic energy. The performance of abrasive jet machining or water jet machining does not depend on electrical and thermal conductivity and chemical inertness of the workpiece material. This point it will be a shows the similarity with respect to the properties of the workpiece, that is electrical conductivity, thermal conductivity, chemical inertness. So whatever the material we are using in case of the abrasive jet machining and water jet machining, there will be no any kind of uh, change in the properties of the workpiece. Next point, none of these processes is associated with burr formation and thermal damage. Burr formation means certain while removing the material from the workpiece, certain amount of a material it will be remain along with that cutted part. So it will be called as a burr. So formation of a burr and thermal damage because of a heat affected zone, it will be not possible in case of the abrasive jet machining. Last point of the similarity, that is both the process can be integrated with CNC machine in order to in order to have sufficient control and precise delivery of the jet. It may be abrasive jet or it may be a water jet. That is nothing but both the processes can be computerly interconnected. Computer numerically connected systems can be used by for this abrasive jet machining as well as water jet machining. I think this one is sufficient for today's lecture. Up till now, we have covered abrasive jet machining, water jet machining, and their similarities. There will be next lecture in where we will discuss about the differences between these two processes. Up till now, we will stop over here. I request uh, all the students to write their attendance in chat box. Many students still not joining our class. Yes, Sonali, you have any query? Sonali
No,
Chavan?
sir.
Hello?
No, sir.
Yes, please.
No, sir. No. Inquiry.
Okay, okay. Thank you. Anybody have still not written their attendance? Please write in chat box. With this, I think we will stop over here.